Hello children, welcome you all. Today's topic is Bhakti cult and Sufi heritage. We have already learnt about first part of it and this is second part of that chapter. So sit tight and don't go outside as the pandemic is going on and follow the topic today. Today we are going to learn so many personalities of Bhakti cult and Sufi heritage. So we shall not waste our time and let's begin. See, here you can see one of the Doha. Children, can you identify who would have written this Doha? Okay. Can you identify? It's okay. Shall we go for the next one? Okay, see here. He is one of the famous personality. In North India, he is very famous as well as in South India, it's okay. Who is the founder of Sikh religion? Can you identify this person? He is the founder of Sikh religion. Can you identify him? Okay, fine. Here one more great personality is there and she is also from Bhakti cult itself. What is Mirabai known as in Kali Yuga? She is known in different name in Kali Yuga. What would it be? Can you answer for that? Okay children, don't worry. If you could answer, it's okay. If you could not answer, even that is also okay. Because before this chapter is going to end, you are going to answer for all these questions. I hope so. Okay, shall we begin? Here are the list of the great personalities of Bhakti cult. You can go through once. See, this is the time scale of these great personalities. Kabir Das, he tops the list in Bhakti cult. Let's begin our chapter with Kabir Das today. So, the Kabir Das time was 1398 to 1518 CE, that is Common Era. Kabir Das is a famous saint of Bhakti cult. He is very famous among Bhakti cult saints. He was a disciple of Ramananda. Ramananda was his guru. He tried to bring harmony between Hindu and Muslim religion. This point has to be noted very clearly children. Those who are going to learn here today, it may be Bhakti cult or it may be Sufi cult. Both of them have tried to bring harmony between Hindus and Muslims. So only these persons are called as very great personalities. Is it not? Then let's learn about the early life of Kabir Das. See, he was an adopted son of weaving Muslim couple. Okay, just try to understand, weaving Muslim couple. Their name was Neeru and Nima and they were dwelling in or they were staying in Varanasi. So they have adopted him. Shall we see a story? How did this Neeru and Nima couple have got the Kabir Das? Shall we see now? Okay, see. So when Neeru Nima, when they were walking along the banks of river Ganga, then a child has floated and came to them in the lotus flower. This is a legend. It may be true, it may not be true, but it is directly related with the history. So only we are learning. See, this is Neeru and Nima. When they were walking on the bank of the Ganga river, they have got this child. And what did they do? They have taken this child and they have taken him to the home. They started to raise him. They were very happy. They did not mind about what would be the religion of this kid and all. They were very happy that they have got the kid. They are taking away the child now. And then, so this is the life history of Kabir Das. And now, Allah and Rama are the two names of one God, he told. See, he is very famous for this only, right? See, he told that Allah and Rama, both are the two names of same God. Okay, that we will have to understand today. So, he condemned caste system, luxurious life and discrimination based on religion. So, all these he tried to condemn among our society, because during that time, you know, the whole society was broken into two pieces, just like some people are said to be Hindu, some people are said to be Muslims. There was no communal harmony between them. The communal unrest was there. So during that time, he has written such kind of words. So only he is said to be great. See, here there are many people. There is no discrimination among them based on caste, based on creed, based on their class system. So there is no discrimination among them here. They are all living very happy. So this kind of society he dreamed about. He described Hindu Muslims as a pot of same clay. See, now you can see that some hands are making a pot. The hands are nothing but that is the God, he told. We are in the hands of God. He may give us different form. He may give us the form of Hindu. He may give us the form of Muslim. Whoever it is, we have made up of same clay, he told. Is it not? Even you think like that only, right? See, this is the hands of God. And then Kabir told that he is the son of Rama and Allah, both. In today's world, we can say that I am the son of Krishna, I can say, I am the son of Rama, I can say, but during that time only, Kabir Das has told that, see, he is the son of both great personalities, both great historical person, that is Rama and Allah together. Then he has given some knowledge to the people how to seek the God. How to seek the God? How do you seek the God? Personally, I will go for fasting. Personally, I go for torturing the body. Personally, I go for pilgrimage, sacred pilgrimage and all. But these are all not the things to seek the God. To seek the God, we have only one marga, that is, we have only one way. What is that? It is nothing but it is only possible by sacred devotion. See, here you can see that a small child is there, his bhakti is eternal, okay, there is no end for that. So, instead of going for such kind of pilgrimage and harming yourself, you can go for this. You can seek the God by only by this sacred bhakti, he told. Today, his followers are called Bhakti Panthis. He taught his philosophy through Doha, 2-line poems. Doha means 2-line poems. Doha in Hindi is called 2 lines, which is simple and easy to understand by common people. During that time, common people used to talk in some other language, but the sacred books like Ramayana and Quran were written in different kind of languages. So, people did not understand what have they written, that is, what is there in the sacred book. So, they could not seek the God, they thought. So, only Kabir has broken that kind of myth among the people and he has written in Dohas. Now, you would like to see how the Dohas look like, right? Okay, I can understand it. See, so only I have brought you Doha. See this one. Guru Govind dono khade, kaake lagu paaye, balihari Guru apne Govind diye milaya. See, the meaning of that is, it is given underneath. It means teacher and Lord both are standing. Now, teacher is also standing and God is also standing. Okay, Lord is nothing but God. Whom should I touch the feet first? But my teacher or Guru, you are the one you told me to, God is great. So, now I will touch the feet of Guru only first, he is saying. Is it not? What a great personality he is. This can also be followed by the common man, is it not? After Kabir Das, let us go for the one more famous personality, that is the founder of Sikh religion. I have already asked you a question related to this. Now, you will be able to answer for this. Shall we see now? Here is the person. Can you identify him? He is known as Guru Nanak. He is the founder of Sikh religion. Have you ever heard of this before? Now, let us see the early life of Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak was born in 1469 CE, Common Era, at Talawandi in Punjab. Right now, it is there in Pakistan. As India and Pakistan, they were together before and now they have been separated. His father name was Mehta Kaul and mother's name was Trupta. Here you can see the kid photo of Guru Nanak. So nice, right? Here you can see that 2 followers are there with Guru Nanak and one is from Islam community, the other one is from Hindu community. So, he had both the disciples. So, those who are doing good for the society, they were becoming the disciples of Guru Nanak during that time. His songs called as Japaji are in Grantha Sahib. What is Grantha Sahib? That is the sacred book of Sikhs. Wherever the good deeds and japas are there, the Sikhs are stressed on it. So, here you can see it is the symbol of Sikh religion. Now, we can see the emphasis on gender equality. During long ago itself, Guru Nanak has stressed over it. Nanak had a great belief in existence of God. He believed that God is there. Where is God? Wherever the good deeds are there, there you can see the God. Guru Nanak said that God is only one. You can worship him in different ways, different names, different kind of practices, but all the gods are same only, not only according to Guru Nanak. Whoever we are going to learn today, all of them have stressed over it. What is the easy way to seek the God? Guru Nanak told, according to Guru Nanak, one can gain Guru through Bhakti and through the Bhakti you can attain Mukti. How nice words, right? If you want to have a good Guru, you will have to go through the Bhakti. If you have the good Bhakti and if you are respecting your Guru with the Bhakti, then finally you will get Mukti. Guru Nanak opposed social evils. What are the social evils? idol worshipping, casteism and sati system. During olden time, we had very ruthless kind of practice that was called sati system. So, Guru Nanak opposed it. See, this is sati system. So, whenever the husband dies, here you can see the husband, whenever husband dies, even the wife has to die along with him. This is ruthless, right? It has no scientific base only. All of us, we should condemn such kind of practices. During one of his travel, Guru Nanak visited Karnataka. We can feel very proud to say this, right? Because we are all living in Karnataka. So, he visited our state. He stayed in Bidar, and the place where he stayed, it is known as Nanak Zara. That is, meaning in English is, that is Nanak Zara is in Hindi. The meaning of that is sweet water spring. After learning about Guru Nanak, let's go for one more person who belongs to Bhakti cult. That is none other than Tulsi Das. He was widely respected in North India. Why is that? That is because of Tulsi Das was the first person to show the Bhakti mark to the North Indian people. Tulsi Das was born in Brahmin family. Immense amount of contribution he has given for Hindi literature. He wrote a kind of Ramayana. It is known as Ramacharita Manasa. This is a great book in Hindi in North India. Till that time, people have seen only Sanskrit Ramayanas. It was not understood by the common people like us. Tulsi Ram was the first person. He translated Ramayana into Hindi. That is, he has given the name called Ramacharita Manasa. What is Ramacharita Manasa famous as in North India? Do you have any idea about that? Ramacharita Manasa in North India is widely called as Tulasi Ramayana. Okay, Tulsi Das has written it, so it is known as Tulasi Ramayana. Tulsi Das has sowed in North India that devotion, pure life, love, affection, patience, generosity among the people. All of that, that is common people, should have all these qualities, he told. Not only common people, everybody has to have such kind of quality in there. If they have such kind of quality, definitely they are going to seek the God. What is seeking God? That is moksha. Legend about Tulsi Das. Let's learn about this. So, there are different stories related to Tulsi Das. When Tulsi Das was a very kid, their parents have abandoned him. He became beggar in the street, and then one fine day he got married to a beautiful woman. So, you can just assume that till the marriage, in all his life, he was so alone. When he got married, he was so affectionate towards his wife. One day, his wife was not there when he came back for home. See, so far he did not cook for himself, so far he did not eat all alone without the wife. He felt very bad. Come what may, he wanted to meet his wife. What did he do? There was a heavy rain during that time. The river was flowing torrentially. During that time, he doesn't know how to swim also. Then what did he do? He has taken the help of dead body which was flowing in the river. He came from one bank to another bank of the river. And then what did he do? Tulsi Ram's wife, she was staying in next floor of that building. He searched for the rope all around there, but he did not get any ropes, and when the snake was going on there, he thought that that itself is a rope. He used that to climb the house. How did he climb? See, just like this. See, he climbed the house and went into her room. By seeing the situation of Tulsi Ram's wife, she uttered a word that the love which you are showing on me, if you have shown the same kind of love on God, you would have got moksha. Wide opens the eyes of Tulsi Ram, and since that day itself, he has turned into a very saint. He was looking for only pleasures of life, but since that day, he has turned himself as a saint. He became a very famous saint. He started to write books which were there in Sanskrit. He translated it to Hindi. So, this brought him a very much popularity among common people. And then one day, as he was preaching Ramayana, two brothers had come. They listened to the Ramayana which was preached by Tulsi Das, and later while going they have got tilaka. Tulsi Ram has put tilaka to both these brothers, and later he got to know that a parrot which was there next to Tulsi Ram, it told that the two brothers were none other than Rama and Lakshmana. So, Tulsi Ram was very much happy about this. This story has spread like a wildfire among the people, and this matter has went to the king also. Who was the king during that time? Can you identify him? See, he was the king, that is none other than Akbar, Akbar the Great. Akbar the Great, he asked Tulasi Ram to come to his court and asked him to show some magics in front of him. But Tulasi Ram boldly said that all my preachings are only for God. It made Akbar very furious on him. He was pushed behind the bars just like this. And what happened later? Tulasi Ram begged mercy for Hanuman. Since that day, from the day one, for 40 days, he started to write Hanuman Chalisa. In the background, Hanuman was helping him. This is the legend related to Tulasidas. Finally, fort of Akbar, it was totally surrounded by the big monkeys, not the small monkeys which were there in the city. The big monkeys have started to seize the fort. See, like this, you know, monkeys have seized the fort. The whole fort was surrounded by the monkeys. They have started to devastate the whole city like anything. Akbar got to know that this is happening only because of Tulasidas. He came to the cell and he asked for the mercy for Tulasidas. Soon the Tulasidas was released from the jail, that is, he was set free by Akbar. This was happened. That is the power of Hanuman Chalisa, they say. This is the legend. Now let's come back to one more personality, that is Mirabai. Being a lady, she has risen to the level of God. Today she has widely respected like anything. Why is that? Let's learn now. Mirabai is renowned saint of India and is called as Radha of Kali Yuga. Mark this point, children. What is she known as in Kali Yuga? Radha of Kali Yuga. This was asked in the beginning only. Do you remember that? And Mirabai was born in Rajput family in Rajasthan, and she was the daughter of Ratan Singh. She was married to a prince of Mewar. Since the childhood, Mirabai loved philosophy from her childhood. She spent all her time offering pujas, meditation and singing about God. Her love towards Krishna, it cannot be described in words. There was a dispute between Mirabai and her mother-in-law, so she left that place, that is Mirabai left that place, and then she went to Brindavana. She assumed that in Brindavana Sri Krishna is there, so she went to the place called Brindavan. Till her last, she was singing the stories, the bhajans of Krishna continuously. You would have wondered that why was Meera so affectionate towards Krishna? There is a story related to this. There was a grand marriage in royal's family of Rajput. It was just like this. She was so young during that time. She went to her mother. She asked her mother that when will be my marriage and who is going to marry me, she asked. So children, we must be very careful when we are talking with young children. So why is that? Because her mother told your marriage will be done, that is she showed towards the Krishna, and your marriage will be done with Krishna, she told. Since that time, so Mirabai has assumed that Krishna itself is her husband. So only this Mirabai is so affectionate towards Krishna. Do you understand it now? And Mirabai songs are full of devotion and love. Love for what? That is love for Giridhar Gopal. Who is Giridhar Gopal? It is the favorite god of Mirabai. She has remained eternal due to her thousands of bhajans. So she has made lots of bhajans. Every bhajans are very famous till now. Do you want to hear one of the bhajan? Just enjoy this. Next, let's go for one more Bhakti cult person, that is Chaitanya. His time is there, and Chaitanya was born in Navadvip, which is there in Bengal. So her father Jagannath Mishra and mother name is Sri Devi. Vishwambara was his original name. Ishwar Puri was his guru. When he was very young, that is 25 years old, then only he has taken sannyasa. He rejected casteism. Bhakti is the only way to attain mukti, he told. This it is repeated many times, I need not to explain, I think. Universal love is the first step towards the God, he said. So he stressed on love. He travelled many places of India, and wherever he went, all the place he spread his love only. Love, brotherhood and generosity, whatever he was teaching, in that we can find love, brotherhoodness and generosity. Today you can see Hare Krishna cult, that is a set of people, they are following Hare Krishna group, they are influenced by Chaitanya only. Now you would be wondered, what is the love according to Chaitanya? Shall we see an illustration? One day Chaitanya and his follower, they are moving on the road, but instead of going in the normal path, they went into forest. Why is that? Let's see. While going, see, Chaitanya just touched his feet to this tiger. What happened then? Then while moving, he patted on elephant, he patted on deer. All of the sudden, all this, that is tiger, monkey, deer, elephant, all of them, they have started to dance together. You know food hierarchy, right? You know food chain, right? Where tiger is going to eat deer. But as soon as this Chaitanya patted on them, they have forgotten everything. They started to dance all together with the great love. This is the love according to Chaitanya. Do you understand it, love? Forgetting the enmity is the love according to Chaitanya. Bengalis, they call Chaitanya as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Bengalis also assume that Chaitanya is an incarnation of Krishna. Sri Krishna or Vishnu, they have taken different kind of incarnations, right? They assume that Chaitanya is also one among that incarnation. This is the original painting, 1512 to 1533. During that time, in between of that time, Raja Prataparudra ordered to paint this during the lifetime of Chaitanya. Influence of Bhakti cult, you can see that harmony between Hindus and Muslims. Bhakti saints were in simple common man's language, that is Bhakti cult people written in common man's language. This enriched the language of common man. Common man have learnt many more things from Bhakti cult. Okay, this is the activity you can follow. So far we have learnt about Bhakti cult. We shall move on for Sufi. However, the Bhakti cult has brought awareness among Hindus. Sufis have also brought awareness among Muslims. They work for the harmony among Hindu and Muslims. That is the heritage of Sufi. So this is Sufi. They look like this. So they have originated in Arabia and entered to India later. So after they have made some reforms in Arabia, they came to India. You can see that. What is the meaning of Sufi? Sufi means saf, that is nothing but clean. Okay, they always used to wear such kind of dress, and the dress is made up of woolen. They are mystic in their life. They are called mystic. Mystic is nothing but the person who surrendered completely to the God. Essence of Sufism. First one, God is the one, He is powerful, we are all His children. They assume that there is only one God and we are all the child of that God only. Encouraged good deeds. Whoever doing good deeds, they are encouraged by Sufi cults. All are equal. There is no discrimination among the people. They have opposed the caste system. You can see here there is a Sufi cultured person. He is sitting here, and do you think that he make any casteism? Does he make any discrimination among the people? No, right? He is leading very simple life. Is it not? So all the Sufis were led such kind of life only. Let's see. When the Sufi people came to India, they are influenced by Buddhism. They are influenced by yoga, Vedanta and everything. Dharma, what is the dharma according to them? Love towards the needy people itself is dharma. Those who are helping the mankind, that itself is dharma. Now let's learn about Nizamuddin Auliya. He is one of the main person among Sufi saints. He lived in Delhi, he lived a poor life. Masjid with the thatched roof was his center of activity. Hut-like masjid he lived in, and all his magical work was happened there only. Nizamuddin Auliya was offered a village by Sultan of Delhi, but he rejected it. He rejected every pleasures of the world. He lived only for the mankind, to do good deeds only. He preached about practicing good qualities and kindness. This is what all the people have done before, right? Nizamuddin Auliya is also a such kind of person only. Khwaja Bande Nawaz is a famous Chasti of Sufi saint. He is very famous in South India also. Nasiruddin, he was also very famous in Delhi. He is a disciple. Disciple is nothing but his follower. So, he is a follower of Nizamuddin. Bande Nawaz means the protector of those who come to his shelter. Those who comes under him, he protected them. So, only he is named after Bande Nawaz. The Bande Nawaz original name was Gesudaraj. The meaning of Gesudaraj is long hairs. You can see that in the picture. He knew many languages just like this, and he settled in Kalburgi during the time of Firoz Shah. He has written many books related to Sufi, and in Dakkani language. Dakkani was the local language where the people used to communicate between them during that time. All that, whatever the literary works of their Bande Nawaz Khan, all that has preserved in Kalaburgi library. Even today you can see that. So, every year a Urus is held in Kalaburgi in the name of Bande Nawaz Khan. How will it be? See, as the pandemic is going on, you cannot go for such kind of Jatre, Urus and such kind of things, is it not? I will take you to the Urus from where you are sitting only. Shall we go there now? Okay, come on. Chasti sect, that is one part in the Sufi cult only. In Sufi cult, Chasti sect is very important. So, Muhyiddin Chasti is the founder of this cult. Muhyiddin Chasti, he is a very famous among this cult. He came and settled in Ajmer. Okay, Ajmer, which is near Delhi, he came and settled there. Devotion towards God, service to the Guru, good life are the main features of Chasti followers. This is what the common people need, is it not? Muhyiddin Chasti had concern for harmony of Hindu-Muslim. He wrote in Dakkani languages. Muhyiddin Chasti, he wanted only harmony between Hindu and Muslims, just like this. They can live together all the time, he thought of. He has written in Dakkani language, which was used by common people. Salim Chasti, he is from Fatehpur Sikri. He is also famous among Chasti group. So, here you can see the pictures of them. Many kings have come to see him or seek his blessings. This is the list of different Chasti group and Sufi group people. You can go through once. And this is the tomb of Salim Chasti, which is still there in Fatehpur Sikri. Just like this only it is there. That is very clean and tidy place. So, now I will give you one activity. Collect more information about Sufi cult. Discuss their influence in India in present context. Will you do that, children? Okay, here is the home assignment. Just write it, and after writing, show it to your teacher. Thank you, children, for being wonderful audience.